My life this past week has been crazy, with many highs and lows. Blue Mountain Television, where I work, had its annual fall fundraiser. Usually we broadcast this event over the course of 3 nights. This is an extremely stressful time for the staff. In previous years, we've had music as a part of our fundraiser. This year, we decided to air a film instead, and we chose the film Hell and Mr. Fudge. The plan was to air the first half of the film on the first night and the second half on the second night, and then on the third night reveal a major project we had been working on. We broke the film up into bite-sized pieces and planned to air the film in those bite-sized pieces over the course of each evening. We had the executive producer, Pat Arabito, of the film in studio with us to talk about the film and its process of making it. We got many complaints from people who wanted to watch the film and not hear all of the talking. We decided in the midstream to make a change and air the film with less talking and show longer segments of the film. This means we ended much earlier than anticipated, and we decided to call it a night. The goal of a fundraiser is to raise money, and at the end of the first night, we only had $2,370. This was extremely low from past years. The events of the evening put a damper on things. The mood of the whole crew was not very good. We ended on a down note. I was even wondering if I was in the right profession. Things were not going well. The next morning, I was talking with a couple volunteers and mentioned to them that based on the events of the previous evening, I didn't think much was going to happen. Our totals wouldn't go up much. I saw people more interested in watching the film than supporting the ministry. One volunteer mentioned to me that I had the wrong attitude. He said we needed to put the matter in God's hands and let Him take care of it. I acknowledged that he was right, and as a leader of the ministry, it was my job to bring the morale back up. We learned some lessons from that previous night, one of which was the fact that at least we knew people were watching based on the complaints that we were getting. We also knew what didn't work and could make changes for the second evening, which we did. These changes caused the production that evening to go much smoother. We aired 15 minutes of the film at a time and had very little talking in between those segments. This was well received by our audience. The donations came in throughout the evening as well. And we ended the second night with $20,000. I told several staff members and volunteers what a difference 24 hours makes. We ended on a much better note that second night. Things were looking up. Then came the third night. Everyone was excited to share about our new building project. As we were sharing about this project and the vision for the ministry, we noticed that people were calling in and making donations. They wanted to be a part of the vision we were casting at Blue Mountain Television. The donations kept coming in. One donor gave us a $35,000 donation. We were blown away by the support from the community for this ministry. We ended with a total of $70,770. This amount is much higher than our previous 2 fundraisers combined. God is good. Why do I share this story with you? What spiritual lessons can we learn from this experience? You see, too many times in life, we try to do things our own way and we fail miserably. We think we know what's best, but we really don't. We have good intentions. We may even be doing a work for God. Sometimes God allows us to go through failures so that we can learn total dependence upon Him. He wants what's best for us, and sometimes we have to learn that the hard way. In this case, I personally needed to learn to trust in God. My volunteer was correct in saying that we needed to put it in God's hands. He is ultimately in control. When I turned the situation over to God, He came through in a miraculous way. I don't know what you are going through. Life is hard at times, but I want you to know no matter what you go through in life, God is there. He tells us in His Word that He will never leave us nor forsake us. Remember that when life gets tough, you can lean on Him.